Hey Thrive, it's Daphne, and I am here to take you guys through a bit of a full body stretch routine. So I'm gonna have something basically from neck to toe, something for everybody, and you can definitely do it on the floor. I'm gonna keep this nice and comfy for us. So to start, let's start right with the neck. This is where we keep a lot of our tension. If we're on computers and looking down and whatnot, or our phones, we tend to get a little tight. So one of my favorite stretches for your neck, there's two different variations and I'm going to show you both. The simple one is simply just to sit up nice and straight and drop an ear towards your shoulder. So don't shrug, just relax your shoulders, dropping an ear. You can even gently move your chin around to find where it's the most tight and hold it there for a few seconds, even to a minute or two. Both sides, nice and easy. Because depending on how tight you are, it might be a little intense. Same thing, gently moving your chin around, find where you keep all that tension in, and just kind of relax. Now, if you have wonderful neck mobility and you don't get too much out of that, here's a variation. You're going to take your hands behind your back and you're going to clasp your fingers together to make a fist with your hands in behind your back. And you're going to move your fist, your clasped hands, to one side of your ribs, and this will cause a pull here. Then drop your head away from that side. It's a much more intense stretch going into your neck, right into your shoulders. Same thing, gently lifting the head. Bring your clasped hands to the opposite side and stretching. Dropping your head to stretch the other side. Absolutely wonderful one. Good for your shoulders, good for the neck. So that's a really nice one. Moving directly into the shoulders, a really great one. One arm at a time. So I've got my right hand out, my left hand goes underneath, and you're going to pull your arm right in front of your chest under your chin. Really relax your shoulder blade in behind. And same thing, holding for a few seconds. Again, you can hold stretches as long as it's not painful for much longer as well. So both sides, left hand out, right goes underneath, wherever it's comfortable, whether you're grabbing the wrist, behind the elbow arm, and pull that across. Always try to breathe nice and slow when you're stretching, especially if you want to really take your time with it and hold it for longer. Really try to get that release. You don't want to do stretches like this. That doesn't really do too much. So take your time with these. Okay. So a nice chest stretch. Now, one thing that you can kind of do, and I'm going to turn this way so you can see. This gets a little bit of chest as well. It gets our shoulders again, so it's kind of a nice twofold. So for this one, hands are going to be clasped again behind your back. And you're gently going to straighten your arms. Now again, depending on how flexible you are, you might just keep your clasped hands behind your bum. And that might be lots. Or if you want a little bit more intensity, lift your hands up off of your bum. Really let your shoulders go back. Chest is lifted. Breathe nice and deep. And again, kind of holding as long as you want for that one. That's a wonderful one to open us up here. Again, it's a nice one if we're down on our phones or computers. All right. So for lower back, this is a yoga pose. It's always kind of nice. I mean, you can sit with your knees together, knees apart. The wider your knees are apart, the more intense it can be. So find, again, the spot's comfortable for you. And you can kind of walk your hands down and coming down onto the floor. You can even bring your head all the way down if that's comfortable for you. It's called child's pose in yoga. Again, try to find a position where you can relax, breathe nice and deep. You don't want to be tensed up during your stretches. So that's a really nice one for lower back. Now, because a lot of us sit a lot, myself included, one of my favorite stretches for behind the hips And again, our lower back, this one's a much more intense one. I find it much more beneficial for people, like I said, that sit a lot during their day. So on the floor, you can have, I've got my left leg in and my right leg out. You're going to twist your body towards your extended leg, and you're going to start hands on the floor, hands on your leg, whatever's comfortable, and you're going to start to reach towards your toe. So depending on your flexibility, you might be right here, and that's lots. If you can go further, that's wonderful. If you need to open up your chest to reach with one arm, that's absolutely fine as well. With this one, you're looking for the stretch behind the opposite hip, right in here. This one I highly recommend to hold for a little bit longer. It's one of the best things that you can do for sitting. And the same thing will be for the other side. One leg in, one leg out, twisting or bending. So here, here, or here. Find what works for you. It's a really good one. Okay, so carrying on down for the rest of the body. One of the best stretches for glutes. I'm gonna show you two, because again, sitting a lot, we can get tight in here. So another yoga pose, which is really wonderful. On your hands and knees, you're gonna bring a knee towards your wrist, bring your foot underneath, and you're gonna walk your free leg back behind you. Again, depending on your flexibility, if you want to put a pillow under your bum, if you can't get your hips down, that's fine. Put something underneath your tush so you can kind of relax, or if you can come right down, you can do so. You can stay right here, or you can lay down. Again, find the position that's most comfortable for you, that you can stay in the longest without any pain. That'll be on both sides. Knee to wrist, foot out of the way. Dropping down to whatever level is good for you. You can probably hear our dog snorting. Okay, another wonderful one for glutes, for your bum. Lay on your back. So for this one, knees bent. You're gonna cross, I've got my right leg up and I'm gonna cross that over my left knee. Now again, depending on your flexibility, this might be lots. You might even want to hold your knee to feel that stretch going into this hip. If it's not enough, you're gonna reach one hand through the space of your legs and the other hand on the other side. And you're gonna grab onto your knee. And this will make it more of an intense stretch for your hip and your bum. Again, trying to relax here. And then what it looks like on the other side. Left leg crosses over, staying right here, a little bit of gentle pressure on the knee, or scooping through and grabbing on. Okay. For the quads, we get nice and tight in here from all that walking, or again, just getting tight from sitting. So this one will be on one knee at a time. If you find that feels icky in your knee, you can, if you have a yoga mat, you can fold it, or again, you can put a little cushion under your knee. You just want that to be comfortable for you. We're gonna do a kneeling position here. Now here, a couple of options for you. It all depends on how tight you are or how uncomfortable this may or may not be in your knee. And you are going to lean forward. We're driving our hips forward. You can hold on to something if you need some extra support, like a chair or what have you. And we're looking to get that stretch in your hip flexor right here, all the way down into your quad. Now, if you want a more intense stretch, like this feels good, but it's not quite enough, you want to feel more into the meaty part of your quad, you are going to Bring your foot forward, grab onto your toe, your ankle. If you have like a yoga strap or a bathrobe, what is that, a tie or something like that, a little belt, you can loop that around your ankle and you can pull that up if you can't quite reach. And either sitting here, holding on to something, leaning forward. That's a good one. Holding for as long as you can, it's comfortable, and coming back up. And I'll show you on the other side. Leg up. So either standing right here, driving forward, and or reaching back, grabbing that foot, whichever hand is more comfortable, and pulling that in. Okay. Now, hamstrings, so the backs of the legs. You can do this one standing if you want, where people simply just stand and they fold over to touch their toes. But again, comfort of the floor. So sitting up as tall as you can, find a position that's comfortable for your legs, a little bit together or apart, whichever works for you. And same thing, sometimes just sitting up straight, you're gonna feel pull in the back of your legs, depends on how tight you are. You can either relax your head, fold down, or you can use your hands to shimmy down your legs, grabbing onto your knees, your shins, your feet. This is also nice for the lower back as well. And come back up. Now, if you need one that's a little bit more intense for your hamstring, hands and knees to start. You're going to extend one leg forward. A little awkward to get in there, so don't worry if it takes a moment to adjust. So I'm on one knee, I'm on one heel. You might feel it right away already, especially if you pull your toe towards you to get the calf engaged. And you're going to start to lean back, reaching forward. Again, move around, find a spot that's relatively comfortable to hold. And then come back up and switch sides. Left leg forward, dropping your bum, reaching ahead. You can always point your toes up if you want to get the calf at the same time as the hamstring. So that usually works for hamstrings and calves. If you want to get just your calves, you can do it from standing, you can do it from kneeling as well, and it's usually just pointing that toe. So instead of dropping down, we're going to stay up here, straighten the leg, and point the toe towards you. You can grab it as well if you need to. And that will put a little bit more focus just on the calf. As soon as you pull that toe up, it's almost all calves. Stay up here, point the toe, grab it if you need to for that extra intensity. Okay, last one. This is a bit of a weird one. So if you're starting to walk a lot more, especially on inclines at all, and you're getting shin splints in the front, as long as it's comfortable to sit, I'm sitting with my legs together, very close, and I'm sitting on the tops of my feet. My bum is on my heels. Gently, you are going to use your hands for support, and you're going to lean back. So my feet are being pressed right into the floor, the tops of my feet. Knees are coming up off the floor, and you're going to get that stretch basically on the tops of your feet, tops of your ankles into your shin. So if you're suffering from shin splints, that's a really good one to do. It's a little intense, but it's a wonderful one as well. Okay, I think that's everything. Neck to toe. Hope you guys like that. Hope that helps. And if you want more, let us know. Okay, bye.